Hey folks, this is Z-Man with Kadesh Farm. Wanted to shoot a video on Mother's Day. Just wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day. I'm a little bit under the weather today. Don't feel like doing much farming, but I figure I'd come out in some sun and give me some vitamin D. But I also wanted to show off we used to call it the goat pen, but it's a goat/sheep pen. We don't have any more goats anymore, thank God. This area here used to just look very similar to that right there behind that horse trailer. There was actually no growth over here at all. It was pretty rocky, or it is pretty rocky. You can see my livestock dogs. Still got one pup I need to get rid of, but the other that we're going to keep and move to our other location. If you see that bald spot right there, that's basically what this area used to look like. I was able to put up a temporary fencing with high tension wire and some timeless fence posts, and I was able to seed it. I didn't really do much disturbance. This is a broadcast area, and I kind of did a little bit of disturbance as much as I could by walking around, and I didn't even bring my four-wheeler or do a drag or anything to try and disturb the soil. And it actually took off and started growing. We got all kinds of stuff that was growing in here. I intentionally put clover, some brassicas, some ryegrass, and as you can see, all the rock over here. Just different grasses that I knew that would seed out and replant itself. So I'm gonna have to worry about replanting it next year. And it's actually, as you can see across the wire, big difference. I'll show you a big difference, because we usually keep the sheep over here. We took the sheep out because they're starting to drop babies, and I don't know exactly how the young pups would do with all that blood and young lambs running around. They don't bother the lambs because the older dogs would keep them in check, but it's just the afterbirth and the blood. I'm not exactly sure. When we first had the mother and father, we had some lambs born, and there was some weird things that were taking place that I just didn't feel comfortable with. But anyway, like I was saying, as you can see the line right here, you can see clearly there's a big difference in a lot of the growth. We got a lot of stuff is beginning to go into seed, and I'm gonna go ahead and let it go into seed. Let's see if I can get off in this stuff here. Hopefully my camera will adjust. You can see all the rock. It's pretty rocky in here, but this stuff is really growing. It's starting to lay down, which is good, because now that means ground cover. Also, that means that it will retain moisture whenever we get a rain. And I will probably put more of some type of seed in here for the fall. Now I got all kinds of things that are beginning to go to seed, which I'm okay with that right now. I was gonna let the sheep over here with their lamb to separate them from the dogs and just keep that fence hot. But we have more than enough grass in these other areas. And also we had a young lamb that I didn't even know that was pregnant. I actually had a young lamb, a young ewe, right at a year old. We didn't realize she was pregnant. She was exposed, but I didn't think she was pregnant, and she ended up having a lamb that was stuck in her, and we had to remove it, and it was just horrible, because by the time we got out there to the lamb, it had been hanging out long enough to the point where the head was dry and the rest of the body that was coming out was still moist because it got stuck in her. And I was able to pull it out, had my wife and my son come out and help, and the lamb didn't make it. I tried what little bit of CPR, but it appeared to have been stuck in her. One of the legs wasn't in. It was almost like the shoulder got stuck in her, and we just didn't find it in time. And it ended up dying in her. And she's okay. She's upset. She's been running around looking for it. We had to remove it. And so I had considered bringing the lamb or the sheep over here, and I just decided to let this go to seed so I can have more free seed. As you can see this spot over here, because of all the shade, this is basically what this whole area, I'll been around here used to look like. I did go through and cut some trees, especially on the backside back there and back over here, and it made a difference. It started getting sunlight to the ground, and basically I planted things that shade tolerant. I have a lot of time invested in, well, I say a lot of time. I had a roll of hay, started unrolling hay over here, and basically walking around and seeding. There's plenty of rabbit over here now because there's plenty of stuff for them to eat, and it's driving my dogs nuts because they can't get to them and chase them off. But it's actually growing pretty good over here. I had some bits and pieces of, is that a tomato? No, I thought that was a tomato. It looked like a, I'm not exactly sure what that is. It almost looked like a tomato plant. No, that's some type of brassica. That's a brassica. Man, there's a lot of them getting long and stemmy, probably due to the lack of sunlight over here. See this bald spot right here? This ground is pretty shallow. Wherever you see the bald spots, it's typically going to be rock underneath, so it doesn't hold moisture. I tried building the moisture up, not moisture, I tried building the soil up by putting hay, sign of hay, because I left my netting. I should have pulled it up. I'm confused on why some of this is dying. It could be due to the lack of moisture, I hope. Nothing been sprayed. This is the area where I had a roll of hay. You can see all the clover, red, crimson clover. Some of it actually have begun to dry out, which means more seed. You hear all the cicadas in the background. I'm starting to see more of their signs of them back here. This is another spot. Evidently, I didn't do a good job of seeding it, or it's just shallow. But I'm so happy that this has turned out, because we used to never ever have grass back here, and it is actually doing pretty good. I guess you would consider this a little mini silvopasture, and I think I put buckwheat over here. I haven't seen any sign of it yet. Let's go over here. No, I don't see any. I can't recall if I put buckwheat. You know what? That'll be exactly what I'll go back with over here, since it is still got bare soil. I think buckwheat can deal with a little bit of shallow soil, and I'll put some buckwheat over here along with some type of sorghum or Sudan grass. Again, it's still rocky over here, but there are bits and pieces of deep soil along with a lot of rock. So that's probably what I'll do, try and increase the organic matter over here. I want to show you guys how this is pretty easy to do. Just a little bit of effort, a little bit of information, and you get out and just make it work, and something will grow. I mean, there are so many different variations of seeds out there and hybrids, and you just have to put forth the effort to get out there and do something. Sitting around watching videos and doing nothing will get you nowhere. Just getting up off your duff and getting out there and applying it. If it don't work, you learn something. If it do work, you learn something. Just get out there and apply it, and make your homestead or farm the model for other people to want to follow. I've learned a lot from many videos and just reading a lot of classes I've taken, and I just go and get that information and come back home and apply it, and I'm very happy with the results. Are things where I want them? Nope, but I'm enjoying the process along the way. As you can see, a lot of the tall stuff that is growing here, I believe that is either oat Hope I don't turn my phone off. It's hard to see in the sun, but it may be, did I put oat or wheat? I did put some wheat. I had a bag of wheat seeds that were very hard seed. They were $12 for a 50-pound bag that I got from the co-op. And I slung them bad boys out here too. And they seem to be growing. Look like I got some, it may be some okra that I put out here. You can see a lot of those tall stems all over. I'm gonna go ahead and let that stuff go to seed, so I don't have to worry about reseeding it. We have a lot of small animal activity back here because the livestock dogs can't come back here and protect it, and they hate it. Plus, it keeps them from being bugged out by my neighbor's dog. This is Z-Man. I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, the little Silvopasture is coming along. Like I said, it's not where I want it, but it is headed in the right direction. What I'll probably do is add some more stuff out here that would do good in the summertime. I had contemplated cutting more trees to get a little more sunlight in here. I need to come out here at different times of the day to see if these certain areas are getting any sunlight. I know a lot of those trees, I do have them marked. I have not had an opportunity to clear a lot of them, but some I have. And you can see it's making a difference. Educate yourself, get out there and put forth the effort and just see how it works out. This is Z-Man, and I'm out.